to read from the banned book and challenged book, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, beginning on page 138. They had been young once. The odor of their armpits and haunches had mingled into a lovely musk. Their eyes had been furtive, their lips relaxed, and the delicate turn of their heads on those slim black necks had been nothing other than a doze. Their laughter had been more touch than sound. They had grown, edging into life from the back door, becoming. Everybody in the world was in a position to give them orders. White women said, "Do this." White children asked, "Give me that." White men said, "Come here," and black men lay down. The only people they need not take orders from were black children and each other. They took all of that and recreated it into their own image. They ran the houses of white people and knew it. When white men beat their men, they cleaned up the blood and went home to receive abuse from the victim. They beat their children with one hand and stole for them with the other. The hands that felled trees also cut umbilical cords. The hands that wrung the necks of chickens and butchered hogs also nudged African violets into bloom. The arms that loaded sheaves, bales, and sacks rocked babies into sleep. They patted biscuits into flaky ovals of innocence and shrouded the dead. They plowed all day and came home to nestle like plums under the limbs of their men. The legs that straddled a mule's back were the same ones that straddled their men's hips, and the difference was all the difference there was. Then they were old, their bodies honed, their odor sour. Squatting in a cane field, stooping in a cotton field, kneeling by a river bank, they had carried a world on their heads. They had given over the lives of their own children and tendered their grandchildren. With relief, they wrapped their heads in rags, their breasts in flannel, eased their feet into felt. They were through with lust and lactation, beyond tears and terror. They alone could walk the roads of Mississippi, the lanes of Georgia, the fields of Alabama, unmolested. They were old enough to be irritable, when and where they chose, tired enough to look forward to death, disintegrated enough to accept the idea of pain while ignoring the presence of pain. They were, in fact, and at last free. And the lives of these old black women were synthesized in their eyes, a puree of tragedy and horror, wickedness and serenity, truth and fantasy.